What would you buy if you had $100 million? Palazzo in Venice, maybe, or perhaps a fleet of private jets or a personal submarine? Or would you plough it all into a single painting? Some of the richest people in the world have done just that.
Nick, your bidder at $95 million.
What makes the super rich splash out so much money on art? Is it love, rivalry, or just big business? I want to find out more about this infamously secretive art world and the multi-millionaires who populate it.
You've got your grubby hands on my beautiful wall.
I do apologise.
I'm searching for the most expensive paintings in the world to uncover the stories behind their record-breaking prices.
Fair warning. Going. This is Christie's big showroom in London, and what you can see are the paintings, some of the paintings that will be sold at the big evening auction in New York, which is coming up in just a few weeks. And this is one of the highlights. It's a Picasso. It's a series that he did in the 50s, known as The Women of Algiers, and it's got an upper estimate of $30 million. This is another of the star lots. This is a Monet from a series he did, I think, in the 1890s, 1891. These are poplar trees. This could sell for as much as $30 million. And this is a Rothko that's been practically unknown to art historians, belonged in a private collection. Let's have a look at the estimate. This could sell for $22 million, apparently.
$22 million? $30 million? That sounds like an awful lot of money for a painting. Well, it's not. It's a bargain compared to the eye-watering amounts paid for the top 10 paintings sold at auction.
When you think about it, art is a little bit like magic, because just with the wave of a brush, something that has no practical purpose whatsoever, just a worthless scrap of canvas covered with inexpensive pigment, can become this priceless object that's desired by many of the wealthiest and most powerful people anywhere on the planet. Abracadabra. But how exactly is it done? Just what is the link between art and money?
My story starts here in New York, where the American abstract painter Mark Rothko dominated the art world in the 50s and 60s. And it's perhaps a surprise to those who find abstract art hard to take that one of his paintings is number 10 on my list. To find out why, I've come to a billionaire's skyscraper.
This is Rothko's White Center, and it would cost you more than $72 million. $72,840,000 to be precise. And that put it at number 10 in our list of the most expensive paintings in the world. Going up.
Started bidding at $33, $34, $35 million, under $36 million bid.
The painting was sold at the auctioneer's Sotheby's in New York in 2007.
$63 million, fair warning, selling it there, $64 million, just in time.
And when you factor in the hefty buyer's premium on top of the hammer price stated by the auctioneer,
Thank you.
this made it a record-breaking amount, more than 3 times the previous price paid for a Rothko.
So what does this tell us? That White Center is officially the 10th best painting ever made? Not exactly. The important thing to remember is that value isn't only linked to quality.
Something that can send the price of a painting rocketing is what's known in the art world as provenance, who has owned the painting in the past. And in the case of Rothko's White Center, it was owned by one of the wealthiest and most powerful dynasties in America, the Rockefellers, who amassed their fortune from oil and banking and reshaped the New York skyline with the Rockefeller Center. On the 56th floor, David Rockefeller built an impressive art collection that included works by Picasso, Gauguin, and Mark Rothko. In 1960, he paid less than $10,000 for White Center. Half a century later, it was worth more than $72 million.
Today, the painting is even known informally as the Rockefeller Rothko, which says it all. The name of its former owner is as important as that of the artist.
To find out whether White Center deserves its number 10 slot, I'm on my way to New York's famous Pace Gallery to meet one of the world's leading art dealers, Arnie Glimcher. Arnie was friends with Rothko and has been buying and selling his work for 50 years.
Is this a really great Rothko?
It is a wonderful painting. It is a wonderful painting. What Rothko is really interested in is the idea of an almost formlessness, use of color to transmit pure human emotion. I mean, you just have to strip away all of the prejudices that you have looking at a painting by Rothko and let it flow over you like great music flows over you. You know, there are very few artists in the history of art that create something that we have never seen before. And Rothko is one of those artists. But all kinds of things converge for a painting to bring that sum of money. And
Such as what?
such as its provenance. It was the Rockefeller name, which, you know, amazed me.
Why do you say it amazed you?
Because the whole thing of art and money is ridiculous. The value of a painting at auction is not necessarily the value of a painting. It's the value of two people bidding against each other because they really want the painting.
And the people who bid the most for White Center are rumoured to be oil billionaires, just like the Rockefellers, the Qatari royal family, who will be hosting the Football World Cup in 2022. Sadly, though, White Center hasn't been seen since the auction. I can't even show you a good reproduction.